The holographic projection flickered to life in the command center of the Indomitable, humanity's flagship carrier orbiting Mars. Commander Elsa Martinez stood with her arms crossed, her steel-gray eyes fixed on the assembled alien delegates materializing before her. The Galaxy Council had finally made their move. "Humanity," began Ambassador Thexler, his crystalline form refracting the dim light of the command deck. "Your expansion into the outer sectors has violated 17 treaties. Your military buildup threatens the peace we have maintained for 3 millennia. The Council has voted unanimously. We declare war upon your species." Beside Elsa, Lieutenant Leo Chen suppressed a smile. He'd been running the numbers for weeks, ever since intelligence suggested the Council was preparing this ultimatum. The aliens had no idea what they were walking into. "Is that all?" Elsa's voice was calm, almost bored. She glanced at Leo, who pulled up a tactical display with a subtle gesture. Thexelar's form shimmered with what the translation AI interpreted as confusion. "You do not understand the gravity." "Oh, we understand perfectly," Elsa interrupted, stepping closer to the projection. "You're worried because in the 200 years since we joined your little galactic community, we've built more ships than the rest of you combined. You're concerned that we've colonized 40 systems, while your oldest civilizations haven't expanded in 1,000 years. And you're terrified because you finally realize something. And what is that, human?" Another delegate, a serpentine creature from the Velcor Dominion, hissed through the translator. Leo spoke up, his voice carrying the hint of amusement he'd been holding back. "That we've been holding back." The command center doors opened, and Admiral James Corver strode in, his decorated uniform a stark contrast to the casual demeanor of his officers. "Gentlemen, ladies, and assorted alien dignitaries," he began, nodding to the projection. "Let me save you some time. You want war? We'll give you war. But first, let's talk numbers." Elsa pulled up the tactical display, expanding it across the entire holographic space. The aliens fell silent as data streamed across their vision. 14,000 frontline warships, Elsa began, highlighting sectors of space. "That's just what we've declared to your council." "The actual number?" She smiled. "Classified. But let's just say we've been busy in the asteroid belts you thought were worthless." Leo continued the briefing, his fingers dancing across the control interface. "Your most advanced vessels, the Thexlar dreadnoughts, are impressive. 4 kilometers long, fusion cores, plasma cannons. Took your civilization 6 centuries to perfect the design." He paused for effect. "We reverse-engineered it in 18 months and built something better. Want to see?" Before the council could respond, the view screen shifted to show the orbital shipyards around Luna. Massive vessels were being assembled, each one dwarfing the alien designs. Elsa watched the delegates' reactions with satisfaction. "The Titan-class destroyer," Admiral Corver explained. 7 kilometers. Full AI integration. Yes, we figured out stable AI while you were still debating the ethics. Weapon systems you haven't even theorized yet, and we have 200 of them ready to deploy, with 3 more rolling off the assembly lines every week." "This is impossible," Thexler stammered. "Your species has barely reached technological maturity. You shouldn't have the resources, the knowledge." "That's your first mistake," Elsa cut in, her voice sharp now. "You assumed that because your species took 10,000 years to reach space travel, ours would follow the same timeline. You evolved on peaceful worlds with abundant resources. We evolved on a death planet where everything, the weather, the animals, the microbes, was trying to kill us. We learned to innovate or die." Leo pulled up historical records, images of Earth's tumultuous past. "You know what we did before we unified and reached the stars? We fought each other. For thousands of years, we perfected the art of warfare. We built weapons that could glass entire continents. We created doctrines of conflict you can't even comprehend because you've known peace for so long." The serpentine delegate shifted uncomfortably. "You threaten us with your barbarism." "No," Admiral Corver interrupted firmly. "We're giving you a chance. You declared war without understanding who you're fighting. Every human child learns military history before they learn calculus. Every colony has defense protocols that your species would consider paranoid. We prepare for threats that don't exist yet because that's what survivors do." Elsa stepped forward again, her expression softening slightly. "Here's what's going to happen. You're going to withdraw your declaration. You're going to accept that humanity isn't going to stop exploring, building, or expanding. And in return, we're going to forget this happened." "And if we refuse?" Thexler asked, though his form had lost much of its earlier confidence. Leo's smile was gone now, replaced by cold calculation. Then you'll learn why humans have a saying, "Fweet around and find out." We've spent 2 centuries playing nice, following your rules, respecting your boundaries. But we've also spent every single day preparing for the moment someone decided we were too dangerous to coexist with. The tactical display shifted again, showing fleet positions. The aliens realized with dawning horror that human vessels had been quietly surrounding every council homeworld. Not threatening, just present. "How long have those ships been in position?" the Velcor delegate demanded. "Since 3 days after you held your first secret meeting about the human problem," Elsa replied. "Did you really think we weren't monitoring your communications? We cracked your encryption before we even asked to join the council." Admiral Corver leaned forward, his weathered face grave. "Gentlemen, we don't want war. War is wasteful, destructive, and counterproductive to our goals. But make no mistake, if you force our hand, you won't be fighting the small, friendly humanity you thought you knew. You'll be fighting the species that clawed its way to the top of the food chain on one of the most hostile planets in this galaxy." There was a long silence. The council delegates exchanged glances, their bravado evaporating like morning mist. Finally, Thexelar spoke, his voice barely a whisper. "We say we'll reconsider our position." "Good choice," Elsa said simply. Council dismissed. The projections winked out, leaving the command center in relative darkness. Leo let out a long breath, tension draining from his shoulders. "Think they'll actually back down?" he asked. Elsa moved to the view screen, gazing out at the stars. "They will. They're not stupid, just naive. They forgot the fundamental rule of the universe, which is, never pick a fight with someone who's been fighting since they learned to stand." She turned back to her crew, a slight smile on her lips. "Stand down from alert status. Resume normal operations." As the crew dispersed, Admiral Corver approached the 2 officers. "Well handled. But Elsa, Leo, keep the fleets on standby, just in case." "Always do, sir," they replied in unison. In the vast darkness of space, humanity's ships continued their silent vigil. The council had asked if they were ready for war. Humanity's answer was simple. They'd been ready since birth. The real question was whether the galaxy was ready for humanity unleashed. The answer, it seemed, was a resounding no-brunt end.